I started playing music in general, actually way back in elementary school. Every grade had their choir, so I was in the choir. And then in fourth grade, I started playing saxophone, and I've been playing ever since. And so I play saxophone for the Klezmer band. I've played saxophone for all sorts of bands, and I'm also the director of the band. So I'm also a conductor. And sometimes I conduct, sometimes I play. Klezmer music has been a big part of my life growing up. I grew up raised Jewish, and so I had my bar mitzvah. I went to a whole bunch of other bar mitzvahs. Same with my brother, everybody in my family, and there was always celebration. Anytime there's celebration, there's music, and a lot of times that music is going to be klezmer music. And so I grew up listening to it, and it was not until I was older that I got to play in a klezmer band, and then I became the director of the klezmer band, which was a huge thing for me. That was one of those highlights in a career and a lifetime that you really get to enjoy after being an audience member so much. Now you're on the other side of it.
What do I like about playing in a klezmer band? It's fun music. It's enjoyable. I don't necessarily have any Jewish heritage necessarily, but it was a fun invitation from Andrew, and I enjoy it. And at this point, I was joking with him that I've actually played in a Hawaiian band before. I've played now in a klezmer band, and at this point, I feel like I kind of just need to add a whole bunch of different types of music to it.
I love some of the presentations that we've done about the history and the place that klezmer music holds. And even Jewish listeners are surprised at some of the history and some of the things, technical things, that make klezmer sound the way it sounds.
The drums are not a solo instrument in klezmer music. Clarinets, fiddles, trumpets, mandolins are the solo instruments in klezmer music. Drums and percussion tend to be keepers of rhythm and adding depth to the music by doing that.
In my current role as the trombonist, very different from the bass instruments, where you're sometimes setting the tonal center or being part of the rhythm section. For the trombone, we also play a couple different roles depending on what's going on with the music. We can be the melody, we can be the harmony, we can also be kind of a color instrument, where we're adding, glissandi and maybe some growls, or different groans and moan kind of sounds, and it really helps elevate the music just from what you might see on the page.
It's interesting because not many people know what klezmer music is until they're told what it is, and then they're like, oh yeah, sure, we know that. So when they do realize what klezmer is and that they do know what it is, they tend to be excited about it. They know that it's full of energy, it's full of history, and it really is one of those types of genres where you can't not feel included. And that's one of the cool things about what we do when we perform is we're not just sitting there performing, we're bringing everybody in. We're talking about the styles, what goes into the style, the different types of notes that we play, the different ways we play the notes. And so by bringing that into the program and getting people to understand, oh, this is how they do it, this is why it sounds different, this is why it plays different, then they seem to be even more enthusiastic about it.